Welcome to episode 257 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Law Guy. It's July 15, 1930, Montevideo, Gran Parque Central, Argentina against France, and the referee blows the final whistle. Argentina 1, France 0. Except there's a problem. There's still 6 minutes left, and France's Marcel Langiller is through on goal. This is not a dead match. This is not a ceremonial ending. This is the fourth match in World Cup history. Argentina are one of the tournament favorites. France are Jules Rimet's country, the country where FIFA was founded, and the country that scored the first World Cup goal only 2 days earlier. And now, with France chasing an equalizer, Brazilian referee Gilberto de Almeida Rêgo ends the match early. Players protest. Police try to restore order. The teams are brought back. The last 6 minutes are played. But the moment is gone. Argentina win 1-0. The World Cup is 3 days old, and already it has its first refereeing controversy. But how did we get here? 2 days ago, France opened the World Cup at Estadio Pocitos. France 4, Mexico 1. Lucien Laurent scored the first goal in World Cup history. Alex Tepeau, the French goalkeeper, was injured. Augustin Chantrel had to go on goal because substitutions were not allowed. France won, but paid for it physically. And now, 48 hours later, they have to play Argentina. That matters. Argentina are not just another opponent. They are Olympic silver medalists from 1928. They lost the Amsterdam Olympic final to Uruguay after a replay. They are part of the Rio de la Plata football world that had taken the game to Europe and returned with proof that South America was not provincial. Uruguay were the Olympic champions. Argentina were right there with them. So in 1930, if Uruguay are the hosts and favorites, Argentina are the other giant in the room. And France? France carries symbolism. FIFA was founded in Paris in 1904. Jules Rimet is French. The whole idea of this tournament owes so much to French football administration. France are not favorites to win the World Cup, but they are central to the story of why the World Cup exists. So Argentina-France is huge. The first ever meeting between the countries. South American power against European legitimacy. Olympic silver against Rimet's football nation. And a group stage match that already feels like a potential decider. The venue is Gran Parque Central, Nacional's ground. Attendance is 23,409. The referee is Gilberto de Almeida Rêgo of Brazil. France have Tepeau back in goal despite the injury against Mexico. They have Alexandre Villaplane as captain. They have Laurent, the first World Cup scorer, Langiller, Liberati, Machinot, the same names from the opening match. Argentina have Angel Bosio in goal, Luis Monti in midfield, Manuel Ferreira as captain, Francisco Varraggio, Roberto Cerro, Mario Evaristo. This is a serious Argentine side, hard, technical and physical. And almost immediately, France suffer. Luis Monti goes into Lucien Laurent with a heavy tackle. Laurent spends most of the match limping. Think about that. The first World Cup goal scorer, injured 2 days later by one of the most feared hard men in the tournament. Argentina press. France hold. And the reason France hold is Tepeau, back in goal, still sore, but brilliant. He keeps Argentina out for 80 minutes. The match is not level because France are dominating. It is level because Tepeau is resisting. Then, 81st minute, Argentina free kick. Luis Monti stands over it. France built the wall. Tepeau's view is partly blocked. Monti strikes. Goal. Argentina 1, France 0. A direct free kick. The same Monti who injured Laurent now scores the goal that breaks France. But France respond, and this is the important part. They don't collapse. They push. They chase. They still have 6 or 7 minutes of regulation time. Then Marcel Langiller breaks through. He is clear. France are trailing. The equalizer is alive, and Almeida Rêgo blows the whistle. Full time, at 84 minutes. Not 90, 84. For a second, everyone has to process what just happened. Argentina celebrate. French players protest. The crowd spills emotionally toward the pitch. Mounted police get involved. Roberto Cerro, Argentina's forward, reportedly needs attention after fainting in the chaos. And after several minutes, not seconds, but several minutes, the mistake is acknowledged. The players are brought back. Imagine that. You've already lost. Then you have not lost. But the break has killed the moment. Langiller is no longer running through. France are no longer in the attack that might have tied the match. The last 6 minutes are played. Nothing changes. Argentina 1, France 0. Final whistle again, this time properly. But so what? For France, this is the tournament slipping away. They had beaten Mexico, they had pushed Argentina to the edge, then they lose 1-0 to Chile, and they go home. A promising start becomes an early exit. For Argentina, this is the beginning of the road to the final. They beat Mexico 6-3, then they beat Chile 3-1. Then they destroy the United States 6-1 in the semi-final. Then they meet Uruguay in the final and lose 4-2. So this early whistle does not change the champion, but it could have changed the group. It could have changed the momentum. It could have changed the memory of France's first World Cup. And it becomes the first example of something football has never fully solved. The referee is part of time, not just the keeper of order, but the keeper of minutes. And when the clock is human, mistakes become history. They are famous descendants. In 1978, Brazil think they have beaten Sweden when Zico heads in from a corner, but Welsh referee Clive Thomas has already blown for time while the ball is in the air. In 1990, Michel Vautreau forgets to check his watch and adds about 8 extra minutes to the first period of extra time in Argentina's semi-final against Italy. In Germany, the famous timekeeping story is Wolf-Dieter Ahlenfelder, who blew for halftime after 29 minutes in a 1975 Bundesliga match between Werder Bremen and Hannover. He later admitted he had taken a few schnapps before the game. In England, Crystal Palace and Fulham played what became known as a game of 3 halves in 1978, after referee Eddie Hughes ended it 5 minutes early and then brought the teams back. And in 2021 at AFCON, Yanis Sikazwe ended Mali against Tunisia early, twice, first around 85 minutes, then again before the 90th minute. Different levels, different circumstances, same fear. The whistle can arrive before the football is finished. Now zoom out to Argentina and France. Their first meeting is this strange little storm in 1930. Then 1978, Buenos Aires, Estadio Monumental. Argentina hosts the World Cup. They beat France 2-1. Pasarea penalty, Platini equalizer, Luque winner. Argentina go on to win their first World Cup. Then 2018, Kazan, round of 16. France 4, Argentina 3. One of the great knockout matches. Griezmann penalty, Di Maria thunderbolt, Mercado deflection, Pavar's impossible outside of the foot strike, Mbappe's acceleration, Mbappe again, Aguero late. France go on to win the World Cup. Then 2022, Lusail, Argentina against France, maybe the greatest World Cup final ever. Messi penalty, Di Maria, Mbappe penalty, Mbappe volley, Messi in extra time, Mbappe penalty again. Kolo Muani denied by Emiliano Martinez in the 123rd minute. Argentina win on penalties. Messi finally lifts the trophy. And somewhere under all that modern drama is the first chapter, 1930. Argentina 1, France 0. At a red free kick, a French breakaway, and a whistle 6 minutes too soon. Before we go, 3 things to take away from July 15, 1930. First, Argentina-France begins at the first World Cup, not in the Messi-Mbappe era, not in 2018, but in 1930, when Argentina were Olympic silver medalists and France carried the weight of Rimet, FIFA, and the tournament's idea. Second, France were unlucky and exhausted. They played 48 hours after the first World Cup match, with Thibaut back from injury and Laurent limping after Monti's tackle. Yet, they still almost reached Argentina. Third, referees don't just interpret football, they control its time. And in Montevideo, Almeida Rêgo's early whistle turned 6 missing minutes into one of the first World Cup what-if controversies. On this day in 1930, Argentina beat France 1-0. Luis Monti scored from a free kick. Marcel Langiller was through on goal, and the referee blew for full time 6 minutes early. The World Cup had barely begun, but its mythology had already learned how to argue. That's all for episode 257 of OTD, your daily dose of soccer history by 17 Laws Guy. Please rate the show 5 stars, so the algorithm can keep pushing the show up the charts and we can welcome new listeners. Tomorrow, go to July 16, 1950, the Maracanazo. Enough said. See you then.